Something about I didn't know that Arnold Schwarzenegger was from Scotland. Something like that. They've been made before, those jokes. Hello, Dullbedsitblogger here, and this afternoon I went to see T2 Trainspotting, which is the second part of the Trainspotting film. Now, T2, I'm not sure about that. Wasn't Terminator 2 called T2? But we'll forgive them that. Trainspotting 2 doesn't sound very good either. So you're in a rock and a hard place. So Trainspotting was an iconic film, and possibly made a generation. Was a very important, and I felt that for me at the time, with friends of mine and what was happening around me, I felt that, well, I didn't realise until seeing T2 how important a film, really set a generation. So it catches up with the characters from the Trainspotting films 20 years later and sees what they're doing. Renton comes back to Scotland and meets up with sick boy Spud and the crazy Begbie. I don't want to give too much about the story away. There's some fantastic little effects in there to kind of tell the story, and that's what an effect should be in a film for. Not too much. It kind of really did hit home for me a bit, particularly when Renton in one bit is saying, "I'm 46," and it's sort of like, I'm 45, and so it really was. At the time I saw it, it was, similar age, not necessarily getting up to similar things, but it was definitely of a moment, and it really did create a moment. I know that my gran actually got really into the film Trainspotting, and apparently had Trainspotting parties and stuff, recapturing her youth by reliving it again via the film Trainspotting, which is interesting. And now, as a film itself, I'm not sure whether it would hold up on its own. It definitely is a sequel. And I don't think you'd necessarily get into the characters if you saw it as the first film. If you saw it first and then thought, "Oh, that's interesting," I think you'd think it's a kind of story about double crossing and stuff like that. But I don't. So as an individual film, it's okay. It needs to be seen as a duo with it. And I think it's quite important to have that big 20-year gap between the film and the sequel. There's a bit in it when Spud says, "Oh, you're just a tourist in your own reminiscing," and I kind of think it could have ended up a lot more of a reminiscing film, but I think it kind of just saved itself from getting too difficult, and to looking back at all the stuff it's created and caused. It had a quite nice, good story, and I kind of liked the little, not necessarily a twist in the tale, but it's good. You kind of, in a way, you re-look at who the film Trainspotting is about, from the from T2, and it kind of changes little aspects of it. So yeah, go and see it if you've seen Trainspotting. If you haven't seen Trainspotting, go and see Trainspotting, then go and see T2 Trainspotting. Good film, made me very emotional because it reminded me of various friends and situations and life experiences that have shaped me into who I am. And I had to wait a few hours before making this garbled review thing, because I would have just started to cry in the middle of this review, and I need to keep cold hard, and emotionless. I'm well known for being emotionless. I am stone.